And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Cities Skylines. Alrighty, game has been running a little bit. I've been trying to let the neighborhoods mature a little bit. You can kind of see that a lot more mostly adults here are moving in, and a lot of the seniors are more sporadically distributed, maybe, sort of, kind of. Well, there's a lot of them up here, but just letting some of it mature, getting a lot of education going around. Surprisingly, a lot of education is going around, even though the closest university is like way down here and way over here. Students are still managing to get an education. So who knew that students were that eager for an education? Even when I didn't encourage it at all, and in fact did a lot to discourage it in this neighborhood, especially up here. This neighborhood is really not encouraged at all to go to college, and yet we have the majority of people in college. Otherwise, as far as maturing goes, just letting the population get a little older and spread out a little bit, even out, get a little better idea of what my commercial and industrial demand would be. And looking at my unemployment, I am still 0% unemployed. Like 0% unemployed. Could you imagine a world where there's 0% of people unemployed? It's shocking. The other shocking thing about that is my residential demand is not through the roof, which is weird, because if you have 0% unemployed, 0% unemployed, you would think the people in the region, in the country that exists in, would be flocking to that city. If a city is boasting 0% unemployment, that means they have more jobs than you could ever imagine. And, if history has taught us anything, is that when that is the case, there are huge numbers of people that move. I mean, look at the gold rush in the 1849. Like, huge population booms. In the Great Depression, when you had like the Hoover Dam being built, thousands upon thousands of people would travel to an area just for a job. So I'm not sure why our demand is not through the roof for that. I'm not putting that together. Be that as it may, we are going to continue building up this area as far as commercial goes. Let's get right there is a good spot, and let's find a cross. Whoa, I want you to go make sure you are 90 degrees there. Thank you. That went under there very nicely. Very nicely. I like that. Okay, let's get you. I'm not sure what I want to do over here yet. As far as the train goes, I'm not sure what I want to do there yet. I do know that I want to get a little bit more industrial over here, and I've already got the water really squared away, so I'm not too worried about that. What I would like is a little bit more. Let's see. Let's just take an arbitrary point, like right there. So, if I would like, let's just sort of get this squared away, and then work on the details in a second. I just want to make sure. Not sure why that is off, but it is a little off. I'm not sure why. All right. And I thank everybody for watching this series. I honestly did not think this game was going to go this long. Oh, those are all off by one. You know, I might want, since those are off by one, let's just go for gusto here. Yeah, I honestly did not think this series would go this long. I just needed something to cover before I covered Tropico, and lo and behold, Tropico was then delayed, and so I was like, you know what, this series is going okay. I tried covering this game once before. There is actually an older Cities Skylines series on the channel. The playlist sort of buried a little bit, but yeah, I've covered it once before, and it really didn't gain much traction, which was disappointing because I do love these games. I love them a lot, and you know, same sort of thing happened with Banished. I covered Banished, and that really didn't do very well, and I had to quickly kind of shift gears with that game, which was unfortunate, because I loved Banish, and I wanted to show some love to that developer who really put his blood, sweat, and tears into that game. Who's working on a new game now, but of course there's no real major definitive information on that. But getting back to what I was saying, the first series I did with Cities Skylines really didn't gain much traction, and I'm really happy to see you know, a lot of people turn out for this one, because it is, you know, really the culmination of 20 years of city builders, and you know, SimCity being the behemoth giant that nobody could really take on for many years, and then they had the disastrous release of the last version that they had, and you know, it left room for another company to come in and really take the reins away from Maxis and say, you know what, you guys, you did good, but we can do better. And you know, the people over at Paradox, and I now the name escapes me of the company that does this game. Colossal Order. That's right, Colossal Order. Oh yes, I know the people were itching for the comment button to lay waste to my memory, but yeah, you know, they said, you know, we can do a city builder. We've done a few games like it. I think we could do a good city builder, and they really did. I mean, it's a phenomenal entry to the city builders. So and so highly moddable. I mean, they really saw the industry and just were like, you know, this is what's needed. People like to make content for this game, and so we're gonna do it right. Similarly, there's another game that's kind of on the same attitude, and it has been many years since I've been excited for a video game. Ooh, we can actually launch a rocket. It's been many years since I've gotten really pumped for a game release, and I don't know what it is, but the company behind the game, Hytale, Hytale, Tale. The company behind the game Hightail really has me excited again. They've taken that Minecraft style voxel exploration world, and they've, you know, literally the hundreds of millions of copies that the game has sold. The company behind it really hasn't done a whole lot of innovation since releasing it. Yeah, Microsoft took it over and has tried to, you know, make a thing out of it, to different sides of that coin. A lot of different arguments to be made, but in the end, you know, the Java version still exists. The modding team still exists, and, you know, the great people behind all of the mods are still working their magic. And the one huge thing with modded Minecraft is, as the versions have gone on, the modding and mods landscape changes. So it's tough. You know, you play a mod at like version 1.7.10 and you really love the mod and it's awesome. But then the version swaps over, and that team or that person that did that mod really is kind of fed up with the process, or they retire, you know, whatever reason they have to go away, they no longer do the mod anymore. And sometimes it's not picked back up again, and you lose a little piece of creativity, a little piece of freedom, dare I say, a little piece of flexibility. And it's sad. It's sad to me. And the people behind the game Hightail have really taken that model, that just base model of mining, progression, and adventure, and taken it to the next level. And there are a lot of games that have tried to capture that audience. There are a lot of games out there that some do really, really well. Some really don't do it very well. And I think Hightail is, from everything that I've seen and for everything that they've released, not only will be out of the box fully moddable, but also will ship with its own animation system, its own model making system, and be completely open out of the box. And not only that, but allow servers to be moddable. Basically, the server source code is going to be available. It's going to be an open source server with a closed source client, so everybody's going to be on the same page, and you'll be able to, you know, create amazing things. And I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm talking about it now because if you haven't seen it yet, take a look, do a search for Hightail, you know, announcement trailer or something like that, and just watch that. Even if you're not a Minecraft or a modded Minecraft fan, that game looks amazing. So yeah, that is what I'm looking forward to. And it looks like we need a little bit more commercial. So let's get another line of commercial on either side. I'm hoping my residential perks back up again, because I've got a ton of room down here to zone in residential. Yeah, see the industry? See, I think a lot of this industry is actually not industry, but is, well and highly educated, which means offices. Yes, industry does cater once it upgrades a few times. It does cater to that. So either one works, offices or industry. And the reason I'm doing industry is the imports that we were running into. We just had way too many commercial buildings importing goods when we can just make them locally. And we have plenty of industry to make those goods, like all of the different industries. The only one we really haven't like expanded in a while is the oil industry. Like, we really haven't done that at all, unfortunately. It's still rock solid. Maybe plastics are a little bit low, but still pretty rock solid. Look at the people. It's one of the things I love about City Builders. It's just a little, it's like there's a kid with the magnifying glass. You know, you've got these little ants that are cruising around, and they just all follow, you know, the path, and they follow the streets and all of the different things that you can do. I love that sense of creating a little itty-bitty world and imagining there's actually people there and wondering about our own reality. It's a lot of very existential thinking comes out of this. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of different games, Hytale being the top of that list, and there's just no release date at all yet, which is saddening. But I'm hoping they don't tease us and then leave us, basically. Why is there a... I just noticed something. You need not sit around. There you go. That's better. No waiting at the intersection. Go right on through. There you go. Okay, so the future of this series. I know there's a lot of people out there that are enjoying this series. And, you know, I haven't purchased Foundation yet. I'm waiting for Patreon to go through. I have zero money right now, so I need that to go through before I can get Foundation to cover it. But, you know, and, you know, there was one commenter that said, hey, you know, I'll watch it all the way to the end. And what's tough with this kind of game is there is no logical end. There literally is no logical end to this city. I could keep this city going for years and just keep adding on, you know, getting a mod, making it a little bit more real, adding this mod, making, you know, doing this and doing that. There's just no end. And so you've gotta pick your place. Oh, and I've got a fire going on here, and just all my lizards died. Oh, that's sad. Because you know this guy is not... I mean, he's pulling water in from this thing. Why are there fires in parks, and why can't firemen actually fight a fire in a park? Like, what prevents them from walking in the front gate and shooting the fires? Like, do we not have fire suppressants in here? How are my other parks doing? Oh, those are still standing, which is good. But so that's sad. Sad times. So there's literally no end to this game. And while I love it, it's taking longer and longer and longer to record an episode. So there's a lot more time going by in between episodes, which radically changes my average hours per video that goes up. By averages, if you guys want to think about hours per day that go into it, or hours per week, or whatever, at a bare minimum, it's an hour per video. A 20-minute video, it's about an hour's work to get that video recorded, get it edited, get it rendered, get it all ready to go. And then, you know, so 2 videos a day might not sound like a lot. 2 hours a day, not too bad. But it's times like this that throws that way off, because I can play this game. There have been times here in the last set of recording sessions, I will sit down for 8 hours to record, and I'll get 3 episodes. So that throws that average completely out the window. And so it takes way more patience and time to sit and, you know, grind out whatever content that you can. And I don't like the videos feeling rushed or forced. You know, I like to follow a game's natural progression through content and features. And what's funny is I'm actually doing, like, actually motioning with my hand, and you can't see that because this is a video. Anyway, yeah, we lost the building, I think. Yeah, it's been on fire for a little while. This one we finally saved. But so you know, right now this game has been running now for well over an hour. It's actually almost 2 hours, and this is my first episode because my demand had finally recovered enough. My city had finally sort of evened itself out. You know, it just takes that much time to, you know, get something done and recorded. Like, I'll zone this, right? I guarantee you that it will take about 20 minutes for this area to be built and leveled up enough to start, you know, actually having people looking for jobs. Because there are so many people in the city now, most of them have to be just simulated by the numbers. They're not actually simulated like these vehicles here. The vast majority of the city just is statistics at this point. That's why there's very little traffic over here. I mean, how many people live over here? That's visitors. That's not what I'm looking for. Isn't there a master district? Oh, I guess there isn't. Oh, I thought I put a district over this thing. But anyway, there's, you know, at least 10,000, if not 20,000 people that live in this little area here. But the odds of them actually being simulated with a 65,000 AI little guy, you know, so the little cars, those are simulated. The little people cruising around on streets, okay, 65,000 of those. And I think they're all in one pool. So 65,000 total actors cruising around the city. Well, when you have a city of nearly 400,000, that's less than a fourth. You have less than 1/4 of all, maybe even a fifth. I'm not going to do that math in my head because that would hurt my brain. But you're looking at 1/5 of the entire city is actually being simulated, which is why the roads are not atrocious, because we have enough spread now where the city is spread out enough to where the traffic is being used, the roads are being used. It looks like it's busy, busy, busy. But you have 400,000 people in an area like this. There would be wall-to-wall traffic. Believe me, I've lived in cities that are huge. And rush hour comes around, and it is bumper to bumper. You know, and so this is mild traffic for a city this size, and that's because we just don't have the game able to simulate that many people that often. So it limits it, and that hurts the whole city, because when a new housing development goes in, okay, how long until people actually move in? There we go. How long until those people actually look for jobs? Okay. And how long until those people start going to work, start having kids, start moving around? It takes so much longer versus the responsiveness of a small city. So I do want to start moving on. I hope everybody who is enjoying this series sticks around for the Foundation series, or maybe to watch the original Cities Skylines series that at the time just didn't gain any traction. And then there's going to be a Tropico series in March. There's going to be a Anno 1800 series coming up. I know other channels are putting that content out, but my channel is not big enough to get anybody's attention. I've tried. I've been successful in a couple instances of working with a developer and getting a key, but you've got much bigger channels that they're just giving keys months in advance, and nothing us little guys can do. Like, we can't. I can't gain the attention of developers in that sense, because I'm just not big enough, unfortunately. But I do like my community. I do love all of my viewers. I adore all of my Patreons, who I consider family, and I love the community that has been built, and I want to thank everybody for watching this series. I'm going to try to think of a way to wrap this series over the next couple episodes. I do want to unleash some disasters on this poor city. It's too pristine to not. Maybe I'll save it as a separate city, so my Patreons can download one or the other or both, and try to grow this city and try to save the ravaged city, the disaster ravaged city, if they wanted to. Wow, look at that little traffic jam. Woo. But yeah, I wanted to try to get up to 500,000, but growth is so slow. Like, this still hasn't developed all the way, and these are still like all low level things. Like, it takes so long to get up to anywhere. It's painful. It's absolutely painful. So now I have to let this game sit and run for about 40 minutes to even come in and figure out what we want to do next. Because there's literally no reason to record anymore, because there's nothing I can do. There's no zoning I can do. These are running out of things because there's not enough workers. And it's like, there's not enough workers. Why is our residential demand not through the roof? So maybe we'll go a little crazy in the next few episodes. And I know a lot of people are going to be bummed, and but I gotta pick my battles. I gotta pick my games, and hopefully not pick my nose. So, I want to move on, and I'm not sure how to end this one. I just don't know. It's taken too long. Oh, we did lose the poorer amphibians. We did lose them. Let's quickly replace that. There. All right, but I thank everybody for watching, and I will see you next time.